All right, I think that is good. Who have I got watching? I think I can see you, Jackie. Is that you, Jackie? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Hi, Joanne. Oh, hello, Miss Susan. You can hear me okay? We're having... Facebook seemed to have changed things. Excellent. Thanks, Susan. So, turns out I can no longer use my iPad as my screen to look at, and I have to use my laptop, which is brand new. So, I'm preparing my husband that it's going to get splatters on it. Anyway, welcome. I'm going to do a little mini art journal page tonight. I thought I'd have a play with some paint and my colour cube. But before I did that, I was going through what I was going to use, and I thought I'd pull out my 49 Market Big Picture Album Kit to show you what's in it and what they can look like if you haven't seen them. Now, this is the one that Nat does have some of these left for sale. So I'm just going to zoom up a bit while I do this part. But I am going to do an art journal page. But for those of you that are interested in seeing what is in these, I've got one that I've done from Christmas, and this is one that I'm going to do from Christmas, but I've had it sitting there for 6 months. So I have pulled it apart and had a play. But you get so much stuff in these little things, and they're good for if you want to do just a small album, not a full big album. I don't know about you, but I print my photos off and then go to town. And I will show you what happened with, I got professional photos on our cruise for Christmas, and I printed them off and they didn't fit in here. So I have started on this one. So you do get the album, and you get this little thing which is really easy to stick in, and all the instructions. You get a whole heap of ephemera bits. You get a whole heap of cards. Obviously, I've opened this up upside down. And all these. And you also get your backing sheet. So I've already started, and I'll show you one there. You get a whole heap of colours. You get full-on instructions for every page. And then it all goes just into this album. And then I have started one. Now, most of the pages, sorry, this is slipping a bit here. Oh, hi, Amy. Hello, Tegan. So most of these pages have one of these things. And I don't know about you, but I never print photos this small. So I'll show you what I did. Like some of them here, you can see this one of my little one in the pool. That would be fine, but I had a whole heap of professional photos like this one from our cruise that I don't want to cut like the whole family out. Anyway, so I have started this. So here's one page I've started for this one. They're so easy, and I don't even add mixed media. And if anyone has seen my scrapbooking, they know I add mixed media to everything, and I haven't been adding them to this because they're just kind of cool, easy. There's something to put together. Great to take if you don't want to take too much stuff with you places. And yeah, you get it in an album which you can decorate. So I'll show you one I've put together, and I didn't follow the instructions. Surprise, surprise. I went a little bit rogue, but I did it to base on my photos. So this is the Christmas album. And I'll just show you quickly. So I've used some of my extra stuff and some stamps to put something on the front. And I did a cruise for Christmas. So I got, most of this is for the cruise. And this is how it turns out. This was exactly as the instructions said to do, as were these two pages. As you can see, I'm starting to cut people off. I did add a little doodle to the outside. And then this is where I've gone rogue. So that's my last page here. But these were professional photos we had done on the cruise, and I didn't want to cut my husband or I out, so I just did the same, similar as the instructions and just added my own photo to it. And I've done that for the rest of the album. So it turns really easily. The way they've done that is really good. There's no sewing. It's literally just sticking your pages together. Lots of ephemera, a little spot for journaling. Isn't that cute? I found him at the top of the stairs of the cruise and he'd set up with the photographer himself, little bugger. And yeah, they're just a really nice way to capture a short trip or something that you want. And they're nice and neat. So I just thought I'd show you those because I know Nat's got like 49 in the Market have, oh, spider on my desk. 49 Market have a lot. They bring them out with every range, I think. And I know Nat's got a few on the website. Oh, yes. Good idea. Oh, hello, Linda. Yeah, good idea, Susan. They're really good. So I actually got 2 for Christmas. I got the first one that I'm going to put the trips. So the Christmas one is the Christmas type photos. And then from the same trip, I'm using the other one for all the beach photos for the cruise. So I'm capturing both parts of the holiday. So sorry, just going down again. All right, so I'm going to play my DIY journal. So these are on the website. They're $13.95. And this is one that we created at the 2023 Creative Escape. So if you haven't signed up yet, there are still spots left in our retreat for next year. Super exciting. And this is a class we did with Nat. So she taught us how to put the journal together. Comes with all this, and you add your own collage papers. So this was a class, so it doesn't come with collage papers. You add your own to it. But this is just an example of a way that you can decorate. And it's really cute little size. So I've got some bits and pieces in here, and I'm going to pull out one page. And it's just stuck in here. I'm going to do the back of this page. Oh, no. Oh, yep. So now you've got to be aware of where your pages are. So because this is on the inside of here, these are going to be 2 separate pages, and that's how I'm going to create tonight. So I'll move this out the way. Now, I might get my messy mat out because I know, oops, we get a bit of a glare from the like high beaming lights that I have on here. All right. So, sorry, I should have done that before. Sorry, camera wobble. Sorry, that was really make you seasick. You still have to do something in yours from last year's retreat. It's empty. Oh, Linda, I knew you would do it. You love yours too, Tegan. And I've got another one of these kits. I do love them. The paper's it's not mixed media. It's not Vicky Bouton Foundations paper. It's just heavy cardstock, but it takes like paint. All right, so I've been playing with my color cube boxes, and I thought I'd show you how to use them. So this is I'm going through them mostly. Sometimes I skip ones when they got brown in them, but I'm going through them numerically, and I'm up to 12. So these colors. Now, a lot of the times when I start my journaling pages, I pick a focal point and then I pull the colors from that. But you don't have to do that. So what I did was I pulled this card out, and then, oh, got that spider. And then I thought, well, that's got some of those colors in there, and I'm not sure I'm going to use the flowers in that, but that's some of Nat's collage paper. I think I might use the light bulb. I haven't got a quote in mind, but I thought the light bulb is a good idea, and I can pull these colors. So color wise, now if you're doing like on the back, it tells you what color it is. I think these are the numbers of pencils or something, Prima pencils maybe. I'm not sure. She does a lot of coloring in. The lady who did these, Sarah Renee Clark, I think her name is. So I just try and pull colors that match close enough to what I want to do. So I thought sapphire was a really good color. I could have gone marine, but marine's quite a dark color and I didn't want to go that dark. So I pulled out sapphire. I've pulled out, I've pulled out umber, but I may change that to fur. I thought that was actually fur. I've pulled out evergreen, and I'm going to change that one too. Ruby is on the bottom. Cheddar, mustard, sorry, that happens to be the same. And I am going to swap those two out. So I'm going to swap for lime and fur. Right. So a really easy way to start is to think, right, you can't fail with colour if you keep your cool colours together and your warm colours together. So often if I don't know where to start or I'm not sure what to do, I'll pull one of these out and go, right, these are my cool colours and these are my warm colours. So I would do my background in my cool colours and my focal point can be my warm colours. And that's what I'll do tonight. So I'll show you how I do that. And they'll complement each other and you won't get mud by mixing them. So the other thing I thought I would do tonight is use some Seth Apter stamps. If you haven't heard of Seth Apter, you haven't seen what he does, well, you need to do some research to start with because he's fantastic. Linda can tell you that. She did one of his classes, but I use his stamps all the time. He is one of the paper artsy designers and he does all these little grungy mark making stamps. Now you might think that grungy stamps are only for grungy pages. They're not. Like I use these stamps all the time. So I've pulled out two of these. These are the minis and he makes lots of minis. And another one of his sets that I use all the time, and I know Nat's got it back in stock, is this one. And they say Seth Apter. If you look up Seth Apter, you'll find a bucket load of them. These are great because you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stamps in there. And, or one of these, $44, $11 or $12. Like, way up how you're going to use them. I have to say, I've used every one of these except for Mark My Words. And that's just because I haven't, but I've used all the others and they're great. So I am going to play with those tonight too. But first of all, I'm going to start with some collage paper. Now I'm not working on this side, but I'm not going to turn it over because I don't want it to get, wet underneath. So I've got some of Nat's lined alpha collage paper and I'm going to put that down first. Now because of the paper, and I should have done this before, but you know, I'm thinking on the fly as usual, I'm going to pop down some gesso from my lifetime supply of Liquid X gesso. Who's crafting tonight? My son has just changed from Friday night to Thursday night football training, which I just changed my live nights to Thursday night. And literally today it's changed back to Thursday night. But that's okay because I'm already bribing the little one that I'm going to ring Santa Claus if he gets out of bed. And 3 nights in a row he has not got out of bed. So here we are. So I am gessoing this because you're sorting ATCs and then you're starting ATCs. Well, that's a good thing to do. Linda's probably doing ATCs too because she's got bucket loads. Right, just giving it a quick dry. Doesn't need too much. So the reason I'm gessoing is because the paper's thinner than what I'd normally use on for mixed media, and secondly is I don't know what I'm doing yet, so I might use the resist technique. I might use baby wipes on here, so I'm oops, I just dropped my paintbrush. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, so it's best to just gesso. It's always best to gesso. So let's pull these colours on here. I'm going to start with my lightest colour. You're eating, just about finished your ATCs this afternoon and a card for your mother-in-law. Oh, lovely. Oh, you're doing the Lindy's challenge, Linda. Lovely. Now I'm just going to go straight on here with these colours. I have been seeing you doing lots of the Lindy's challenges. You're doing amazing with them. And you've won a couple of them too. All right, so I'm going to pull, now I'm going to put that on there. For some reason, I always start at the edges, but I want to do the lighter colours in the middle. Now I've got to remember I'm working on a little journal page here. So I think that's an A4 piece of paper and it's just folded in half. But nice and easy to do a little page. Now I'm going to go in with this sapphire, which is one of my favourite colours. It's she's certainly hit the money with this colour. So I'm not washing my brush in between because I'm using the colours from the same side of the colour wheel. They're next to each other and green and blue can blend. I'm going to add a little bit more of that. And sometimes I'm using a dry brush and I've got a little bit of a tealy colour happening up here because they're blending. Now, when you're doing a page like this and you've got something on the other side, a little tip is to go in one direction when you're going off the edge of this page so that you don't go under. Not too worried about that. Now, this fur colour, I'm not going to have a heap of fur. It's quite dark. So I'm adding this one mostly to my edges, especially where that pink dot was from the other side. All right, so that's quite dark with the brights. I'm okay with that. That's all good. I'm going to wash my brush. All right, that is almost dry. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in some of this collage paper. And I don't know, this is one of my favorites. I run out of it all the time. I always like to have a stash of it. There's a few others as well, but this one's particularly a favorite. Now, I'm remembering that I've got my focal point, which will go smack bang in the middle. So I'm going to put this to the side, up here somewhere, and I'll just get rid of that. And then this one might go down here. And I'm just going to go over the top of my paint. Just need to get my gel medium brush so I don't ruin a different one. And my gel medium. All right. So I'm just going to go over the top and underneath with gel medium. And that's just covering up a little bit of that darkness there. And I might move that bit up a bit because I don't want to cover that whole blue, although I can fix that. Bring that back in. And I've gone off the edge and I'll trim that off later. I don't know what weather you guys have had, but Canberra has had a shocker today. I know Adelaide is cold as well today. My mum's in Adelaide today. And let me tell you, if Nat's was a wool store, she would have had mum there all day. But she's not, so she's with her cousin. Oh, okay. My mum's addicted to wool. But that's okay because I'm getting a lovely little cardie. Now, is anybody having a green flicker across their screen? I know Nat asked this the other day and I said no, but it's now that I've put my laptop on, I'm getting it. So if you are, I'm sorry, I don't think there's anything I can do about it, but there's definitely a flicker happening. Her addiction, yeah, Tegan gets some of my mum's leftover wool. No flicker, thanks Susan. Must be a laptop thing because Nat was having it the other day too, and I thought no, not happening here. Now I'm going to add a little bit of yellow here, and I might pop it in there and over there, and I'm just going to use my finger. So because yellow is, oh, this is a newbie, so I need a pin because it's not been, it's clogged. Because yellow is in the middle of the color wheel, it can be a warm or a cool color. I normally put it with my warm colors, but you can put it wherever you like, and it goes with both. So what I will do with this page today is that I will use the red as my my pops of color. So now Seth Apter does have some paints, paper artsy paints as well, which are in the rusticy type of colors. I've only just, my husband's yelling at the football. I've only just started collecting paper artsy paints. I think Linda actually got me hooked on them. They are lovely and they're different to all the other paints I have too. But yes, not all my sets aren't all my color palette, but there are some lovely colors there. I was getting a bit, but thought it was your laptop. Yeah, I think it's a laptop thing because Nat had a laptop. I've got mine. My mum was a wool person in our family, amazingly, and my dad's occupation was a wool buyer. So all our jumpers were made. Oh, how lovely, Susan. My mum just did one for my auntie, and I'm like, where's mine? So she went to the Bendigo wool mill on her way wherever she's gone. So that's grunged that up a little bit with that mustardy colour. I'm happy with that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep those like that. And I'm not even sure that this is going to work. So this is working on the fly here. I'm going to bring in some stenciling, but not too much stenciling because I'm going to use my stamps for my mark making. I am going to just dry this off a little bit because it looks like a hot mess. 50 plus paper artsy colours. Does he? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm certainly going to learn something about the grungy colours, aren't I, Linda? All right, I love this stencil. This is one that Claire designed for Nat, but it's just kind of cool. So I'm going to bring in a bit of, I might even go in with this. No, I'm going to go with the blue. I can't do the green. Sorry, Tegan. And I'm just going to use a dry paintbrush. And I've got a baby wipe handy. Almost clean baby wipe. All right. So I know I've covered most of it up, but that's okay. because this is a great stencil to do this with, because it's got big gaps in it. So if you want just some marks on your stenciling, you want something with big gaps in it if you're doing this technique, because then you can still get your colour to come through. Loving that. And I'm just going to add a smidgen. Oh yes, we should say that, shouldn't we? The cat's out of the bag, and I'm not talking about Seth. So congratulations, Tegan. We are super, super duper excited that you have joined the Natalie May Scrapbooking Brand Ambassador Queen team. So very excited about that and that announcement today. And Tegan and I actually work in the same building and branch in government, and she was on a call when it got announced. So I was waiting for her to see that everybody was commenting on this announcement that she probably wasn't quite sure the timing was happening. So it was quite funny. I'm like, you're out, you're out. So congratulations, Tegan. We can't wait to see your creations. Well, more of your creations. We've seen them already. So, and Nat has an eye for picking people who complement her brand very well. So, all right. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a... I don't like to have too much mess, so sorry. I'm a stencil cleaner and happy to leave the mess on my desk overnight, but I don't want my stencils messy. So that looks pretty cool. I'm liking that. Now, I do have another stencil I had out, but I don't think I'm going to do any more stenciling. I think I'm going to go in with some paint and some marks. So first of all, this one I use all the time, and it's called EM100. But it's super duper cool. I'm not used to being on a laptop, so my comments aren't scrolling. It was a surprise. So I'm going to use some of the little minis. Now I am going to use... And these tins are fantastic. If you don't have these tins for your stamps, you need them in your life. Okay, and I'm going to use some black, and that's probably about it. All right. So these stamps are wonderful for mark making, and very often I don't use a block for these stamps, because that's not the look that I'm going for. So I've got that one. It was a little bit more dirty than I want. This is getting very grungy for me. Just got your tins and they're amazing. Yeah, your 4th tin arrived yesterday, Susan. Oh, that was in your yesterday's delivery. I'm going to grab out. So this one, which is one of my favourites, is ESA 27, and I know Nat got it back in. So I'm going to grab that one. And I haven't found a better way to store these except for in their plastic, just because of the way they are. But that's okay. All right. So I'm going to put some marks. How cool is that? super cool. I'm going to go up this way. Turn it around. Yep, love that. All right, I even clean my stencils, my stamps, even if they've it's permanent ink. All right. What now? I'm gonna clean that up. I'm gonna need to find a different focal point. I think I might just quickly give that a bit of a cut and see how it looks, but I don't think it's gonna match. But you never know. I might put a bit of gesso on there, and then you never know. I've already like cut it out, going to use it a few times, and it hasn't worked. So it wouldn't be the first time that I've got my cuttables, my collage papers or my cuttables out and changed my mind. Oh, actually, I might just, if I bring in a bit of other yellow, I might be okay, or a bit of pop of blue. Might do that. Let me get a bit of sky. Add a bit of sky to this. All right. What am I going to add sky with? I might add just, actually I might use that stencil, the other stencil. So a while ago, I think it was last year, I created some stencils for Nat. Oh no, actually, this one. I might use this new Dina Wakey one. Scrap that. And I kind of stacked, I think this one's called. So I might add some blue on with that. Give me a couple of pops of blue. And I'll use a sponge to do that. It's a bit crusty on the end. All right. Let's add some pops of blue so that they can mold in with the rest of my page, that focal point. That's cool. I like that. And I'm going to go here. I'm going to move this over here because I don't want my stencil to go in my paint. Now, I can already see this needs, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. And I'll pop a little bit down here. This already needs some white. Like it's screaming for it to give it some balance. I like that stencil. I've had that for a few weeks. Actually, it might even be a few months now, and I have not used it. All right. Cleaning. All right. Now, I am going to bring my white in, and I'm going to use it with this. So, what I like to do with white, and I've got a couple of, oh, that's iridescent. I want to use iridescent. I've got a couple of these Reeves one I'm trying to use up, so I'm going to use that. I don't think Nat sells this one anymore, but you can just use gesso for white paint, but I just want to get rid of it so they kind of don't stack anywhere with my other paints. So I just want to get rid of it. I don't want to get rid of it. I want to use it up. All right, so I like to just pop my paint on my messy mat with my finger. And then, now, am I going to use a block? No, wait. So I'm going to add a bit of white. Yeah, baby. With that. I love that. Love it. Oh, hi Tina. Sorry, I got sidetracked looking at my own work. Goodness me. How are you, darling? Yeah, the white, you need white on every page because honestly, I know, Tegan, you said you love those colours. I was not loving those colours right then. But that white is just bringing it all together. And I love that stamp. I wish I'd put it on a block so I got the whole impression, but I'm okay with that because this is a bit of a grungy look page. And I'm feeling a bit better about this, and I haven't got my red on there yet. So that's coming. Now, why I have... Oh, it is me, Peanut. It's Naomi. How are you? All right. So I've got white here, so I can't let that go to waste. So adding a bit more of that. I need my spray bottle because my water has gone green and it's going to give me a green white, and my spray bottle's gone too. I've put it in a safe spot, safe space. Normally I have about 5 of them, except my 5-year-old has taken to taking my water bottles and squirting them into his mouth. Ah, oh, bless you. It's been, yes, it has been one of those days. All right, so I'm adding my splatters around my stamping to keep it in a cluster there and over there. All right, and I'm going to get rid of that before I put my arm in it. All right, now, really important, and I know Nat says this as well, and I've heard Tammy say it, if you're using your stamps with paint, make sure you clean it off straight away because it will stick in there and ruin your stamp. All right, children. I know, right? You're learning all that again, Tina. How is he going? Or should I say, how are you and hubby going? All right. So there's a fair bit of liquid on that page with the baby wipe and the stamping and the extra. And it's a bit floppy, but it's got something on the back, but it'll, it's holding and it's fine. So, we have a lovely little community here, don't we, Tina? Very lovely. A village, as you've said. I'm going to add some white under there later. So now I need to bring in this ruby. Now, creating with ruby or red can be a bit tricky. So, I'm going to use a stencil. All right. Now, a while ago, I created this for Natalie called Twisted Yarn. And I'm going to get out some Sedona, actually. I think Sedona might be better for... instead of scarlet, for scarlet. That's where I'm going with this. One foot in front of the other. Oh, always lovely. Good work. You're amazing. All right, so, and I've changed the spot where I'm putting my paint for some reason. Not going to use that because that will create mud. Let's see, this one's been cleaned. All right, so dabbing the paint on and off because I don't want a heap of it. And this has become one of my new favourite stencils. Look how dirty it is. And I clean them. Like, that's unheard of for me. Anyway, it's a really good mark making one. So yes, that Sedona is much better. I think it will match that collage paper. So I don't have a lot of paint on there. And I'm kind of dabby swiping it on. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's becoming one of my new favourite stencils. And I did it last year, so... yeah, I've just gone back to it. I've reunited with my stencil. All right, might put a little bit there to overlap that. Enjoy, Seth, double for you. Enjoy, Seth. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. You're doing the double. Is that what you're saying? You're doing the double days. Or I've missed something. If I have, I apologise. Or you're talking to each other. That's cool. I like that. And that will bring that in. All right. I think I'm done with the paint. And, you know, look, I've got paint here. I may as well make it into a wash and splatter that too. My laptop has yet to get any splatters on it, but there's still time. Yeah, that Sedona is a bit less in your face than the Ruby and a bit more grungy too, so that actually worked really well. Susan's going to Seth Apter and I would love to have it. Won't happen. Oh, sorry. Yes, she is. He will be amazing. Amazing. All right. So, my family has just recovered from all the sicknesses. Somehow I got a bit of a runny nose, but wasn't, and a bit of a sore throat, but somehow I managed to avoid what the boys got. Wait, who hasn't heard of Seth? Oh, Pina. Yeah, look, so Paper Artsy, these stamps, his names are on these little stamps. It says Seth Apter on the little stamps. You would have seen his name about. Yeah. I am going. I feel very lucky that I'm going. So I'm just going to dry this off before I start the next section. Right, don't want to put too much heat on there because it's not a thick paper. All right. Now, we still need a bit. All right. So I still need a bit of balance to the page. I still need to add a bit of black, and I still need to add a bit more black, and I still need to add some more white. So how I'm going to do that, so this is going here, and I'm going to pop that in now. Yeah, I am. And I'm going to put some gesso down, some white gesso, And I'm going to use a thicker one. I'm going to use a chromacryl one because I don't want to lose the colour of it underneath all that this. So I need to, oh man, oh no, that's okay. I'm going to pop that there. All right. So I don't just want that big blodge in the middle. So bear with me. I'm going to dry this. And man, I just used 3 different brushes and put them in water. I'm going to go again because it's not dark enough. I keep putting my paintbrush in water, so I keep swapping paintbrushes. All right, so I'm going to stick that down with my gel medium, and then I'm going to fix that other mess. My 14-year-old is into I know, Peanut, aren't they awesome? And I would like them smaller so I can put them on some shoes. So I was like, they won't fit on the shoes. I want them smaller. They are amazing. And they're even more amazing in real life. Oh, I'm actually really happy with that. That kind of, those colours have blended well. I thought that wasn't going to work. Now, I've got this big white blob around it, which we're going to fix. So I'm going to use a little sponge. This one might not have much life left in it. Keep cutting them off. And we're going to get a stencil. Stencil or stamp. Or maybe I'll use a stamp instead. Let me find another one of these little ones. And I think I know which one I want. Ugh. Yep, there's a word here. No, maybe not the word. Might use this big one. All right, so I'll just use a bit of this gesso. So I'm just using my finger, create a little thing over here. And I'm going to have a piece of paper towel to protect, although it's gesso, to protect this. And what I'm going to do is just dip the edge of my stamp into that gesso and connect it with the gesso that's there. So my 14-year-old is absolutely, completely and utterly obsessed with football, rugby league, for those in Adelaide. Yeah, that looks cool. And I'm sure his father has always dreamed about having boys and talking football because he's just as obsessed. And I can hear them out there, and he is literally talking his ear off about football. So I just have to laugh. Oh, yeah, you'll get to... Oh, you're going for classes on... Isn't that got classes on Saturday? Or are you just popping in for a visit? I'm pretty sure the Super Studio's open. All right. So, sorry, you couldn't see that while I had that over there. And I'm just going to extend it there. And a little bit there. So I've just used that stamp around there. Oh, art journal class. Oh, nice. Is this nuts? What month are we in? June. Oh, yes. I just did that the other day. It was awesome. It's great. Great class. Yeah, someone's singing. Is it Wayne? Is that Wayne singing, Tina? All right. So that has brought that in. And now I'm going to add a little bit more mark making before I add on my quote. So I have been doodling a lot of quotes lately, which is great, but I think I might use some of my Natalie May cuttables quotes. Just because I have a lifetime supply of them. And I'm going to use black. Oh, and this one has been calling out my name. I'm allergic to stupidity. I break out in sarcasm. So funny. So I'm going to cut that quote out. I'm just giving that page a little bit of time to dry. A bit more. So girls, you're as lovely and amazing as all the collage girls that Nat has, and there's an abundance of them. Don't forget about the older ones as well. Like, they're still there, and there's plenty of them, and you can use them for all different things. I did a 7 Deadly Sins lot ages ago. I'll show you after this. And it was using all Nat's girls in different ways. So it was pretty cool. And a cool little project. All right, so I'm going to get a white pen under my camera. All right, so what I'm going to do here is just... Yep, that's dry. Is just use that stencil to enhance some of those diamonds. And have I gone over the page? Yes, I have, but so I'll have to gesso that later when I do the next page. So I don't want to completely outline everything, but I just do a little bit of mark making around that stenciling. Just adds a bit more of that light, the balance into the page. And I apologise, you can't see when I put my hand across there. And I'm not doing anything clearly I can't talk and draw at the same time, so I'm not doing anything like fancy. I'm just lining those, following the lines very roughly in some places. So just gives a little bit of something. We've got something happening in the background there, but this is still popped up the top. Okay, so nearly done. I will get out that Deadly Sins ones I've done, which will show you some of Nat's girls. What I might do is use my Stabilo. Look how little my Stabilo is. It's nearly done. All right, so all I'm going to do is go around here with my Stabilo. I'm not doing a thick line because I don't want a heap of black on there. I just want a little shadow to pop it up. And using my water brush, aqua brush. Nope. I've got about 7 of them and one's got water in it. So here it is. So I'm just making sure I don't have too much water on there. Just activating that. Some of it is going to the edge of that collage paper, but that's okay because I left a little bit of an edge anyway. And I didn't seal that. So I'm just going around here. All right. So that gives it a bit of a shadow, bit of an oomph. I always break my quotes up, so I'm going to put, if I had more time, I'd look through them and find something about being smart or something like that. Now we don't want to lose our quote, so what we want to do is, oh, this is weird. My friends just sent me a random cat meme which has popped up because I'm on my laptop. They pop up now. All right. So I'll pop that around there, but we don't want to lose our quote in the depth that we've got here. And it didn't really suit sitting into those light bits there. So what we're going to do is grab that white pen again. Oh, thanks, Susan. It hasn't turned out the way I thought it was going to. Let's put it that way. It's, yeah. So use your colour cubes to guide you on somewhere to start. And you can't go wrong if you keep your warms and cools separate and then bring them together when you need to. So I've only brought that in over the top. I've brought that in as a cool colour. And that kind of works. The balance of the black and the white bring everything together. So let me just bring that out up a little bit. I'll just wait for the camera to catch up. So there's lots of marks on there, lots of interest. And all I've done is use the simple little light bulb. So pretty cool. Let me grab my 7 Deadly Sins, girls, if I think I know where they are. Just checking that this is where they are. Ah, yes. I think they're all in here. So this is my Art by Marlene journal that I pulled out and then just used rings to keep them so I could keep the black binder. So these are my girls, all used with Nat's collage paper. So, and don't ask me what they name. So that one was Envy. And I let the colour guide me for whichever colour associated with the sin. And then we got Lust and Pride. So you can see lots of Nat's different stamps, and we've got lots of texture on this one. We got Sloth. And Gluttony, and most of these girls are still available, most of them. Greed and Wrath. Is that it? Was that 7? I think that was 7, possibly. No, she's not one. Clearly I didn't finish this book because there's a few pages left over. So yeah, that was a cool little project I did with the 7 Deadly Sins using all Nat's different girls. I saw them and the idea came and that was the start of something. So yeah, have a play, see how you can use the girls differently, because there's certainly plenty of things that you can do with them. So don't be be inspired by what you see posted on the page, but don't be intimidated at all. You know, it's only there to give you ideas. Take part of it and run with it and see how you go. Have a play in your journals. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Pina. Thanks, Tina. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Oh, sorry, Karen. I'm just finishing. You can watch it back in a minute. It will be posted on the page in a few minutes. So thanks, Alana. Thanks, Susan and Susan. Thanks for watching, ladies. Have a good night.